Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I thought it was about time we started looking at Christmas and making some Christmas cards. But I thought that this year, for a change, that I would look at using things that we've probably already got, things that we've got in our stash, with maybe something new that we've bought recently. So we're going to start with punches because everybody has punches of one shape or another. So I'm using the bow punch. It punches out two different shapes of punch of leaf and a bow. It's called a bow punch. So, you know, a little sort of floral thing and a leaf. It's in the annual catalogue and it is on page 153 and it's £18. Now, obviously with a punch, you can punch again, and we are going to be focusing on punches for this first week. I'm hoping to do sort of about 12 weeks of Christmas cards using all sorts of different things, but mainly focusing on things we've got. So once we've got the punch, we then need to punch it out. Now, I've already done this, and I've used something that I've had for quite a while, which is, we've had over the years, I can't even remember where it came from, but I always have different ones over. So this is some glimmer card. Now, we've done glimmer card at Christmas, so we've done these colours before, and I've just got some left over. And we've also done them, I think this was a celebration one, in these sorts of colours. And again, I've always got some left over, so I've used that. You can use whatever colours you want. I'm using 4 different colours. So I'm using a white, I'm using a red, a gold, and green. Okay, so I've done that in glimmer paper and one I've just done in white. Again, you can do them in any colours you want. I wanted it Christmassy, so I'm going traditional Christmas colours. You also, with the punch, you punch out 2 things at the same time. So I've basically got a whole series of these little flowers, and we'll do something with those at a later time. So once you've punched out some of those, you need to choose some designer series paper. And again, I'm going back. Wonder how many of you can remember this one. This was called Warmth and Cheer Designer Series paper. It was, I don't know how old it is, but I've still got quite a bit of it left. It was a 6x6 pack. I've used probably about half of it. I've still got about half of it over. So rather than going and finding something new, look for something that you've already got. Now, the great thing is that colours will team in with, so this is a red. It teams in with the cherry cobbler, so you know that it's got cherry cobbler on it. If you're using any of the Stampin' Up ones, you can always tell because they will turn round, and however old the paper is, as long as you keep your top and bottom, which most people tend to do, you know that you've got cherry cobbler, crumb cake, delightful Dijon. My goodness, that goes back a bit. So that I think would be equivalent to a crushed curry, garden green and whisper white. So all of those are still current apart from the delightful Dijon. But you can see again, you've got all of the different colours. So that would have been delightful Dijon, which is a little bit darker, but it would tone in with crushed curry if you've got it. So I've taken a piece of this. I've taken a base card, which just happens to be square. Use whatever you've got. I'm doing it with 1/4 inch smaller. So that's going to go straight on there with a little white border. You could mat it in red. You could put it on red cardstock if you want to. I just happen to have some of these, which I was given a while ago, as I said to you. And I'm very much this Christmas, with everything that's going on at the moment, I know that a lot of people are turning around and going, you know what, this Christmas I'm going to do it as a handmade Christmas. So I'm making all my cards, but I'm not going to go out and spend a lot this year. But I want to make something that's lovely. So that's the idea of me trying to show you, you know, you don't need to buy all the new things. Yes, I'd love you to buy all the new things from me, but you don't have to. You can use what you've got. You can use what you've got in your stash. So, a square card. This one I think is about 5.5 inches. So this would be 5.25 inches square. Then I've taken our circle punches and I've punched one of the largest circles, which is going to go in the centre. That will help us build the wreath. And I've taken, because I wanted a large Happy Christmas in the middle. And I know some people like Merry Christmas, but this is a Happy Christmas. So I think it's quite nice. Again, it's an old one. It is from Oh What Fun. And this, I don't know how old this one is. I've been a demonstrator for 7 years and been buying for 8-9 years. So it could be any age. I'm not going to look all of them up. But it's got great sentiments on there and I wanted a large one. So why don't we use one that we've already got? I've put some dimensionals on the back. So again, you know, make sure you've got dimensionals, foam pads. And we're going to stick this straight down in the centre as near as we can to being in the centre, because then that just gives a little bit of height. Then I've used our mini dimensionals. Now they are brilliant because they are small enough to go on there, and I've just put 3. You don't need to put one on each one. You can again cut them out with or punch them out with foam if you want to. So I'm going to start with this one and I'm going to put it, I want to have it so that it sort of goes up in the air a bit. So I'm going to have a little bit on, but the majority of it off. So like that. Then I'm going to put the gold, I think. So again, I've got this in here. And it's entirely up to you how you place them. But I want to place them so that they are coming in down on that sort of angle. Okay. Then we'll have the green. So you can see I'm doing them sort of slightly up in the air. I'm not doing them completely round in on the side. I'm just sort of doing them up a bit. So let's have this one. We want this so that this comes out that way, and I'm going to put it there like that. Okay, so I'm doing the stem of them as near to the edge and the other piece is coming out. So we then want a white one. And I've chosen to do white because I want it to, I'm not matting the card, so it's going to show the white. And I just wanted it to balance it by bringing that in on the white. So we want to have this coming down that way, and I'm going to take that one off like that. Okay, so now we need to go back to our red. Now I could have put them all on first to balance them, but I think I'm going to be all right. So that. This one's going to go down this way. So we'll take it to about that leaf there. In on there. So that's our red. Then we have our gold. Quite like doing Christmas in the autumn time. I won't do it in the summer, but in the autumn, once the nights start drawing in a little bit, I think it's quite nice to do them like that. So I'm going to take again with this, so that comes in on there, that comes in on there. So you've got this bit is coming out quite nicely. Then we'll have this one, which is the green. And then this one is going to go this way. So we'll have this coming up that way. Like that. That's come out a little bit, but that's fine. And then we should have the white one as well. And that can then go in. And your last one, to make sure I'm doing it in the right direction, you want to have this is going to just tuck in underneath. So you just want to ease it up so that you've got both pieces tucked in. That's going to come in over the top like that. So you've then got it round, so you can see that goes in underneath, that goes in over the top. And you've then got this lovely sort of sparkle. Now, if we then raid our embellishments pot, so, you know, everybody's got lots of different embellishments and things. So let's have a look and see what we've got in here that we could put on here. So I've got champagne rhinestones, which would work. They're quite big. I could have some of those because they would pick up with the gold. I've got some nice red ones, and these were from last year. So they're quite pretty, but I don't think they're going to show so much because they're on the red background. I've got just ordinary rhinestones, which are quite pretty. You see, I've got some of these lovely silver and gold doily snowflakes. I could use some of those. I've got some of these, which are the gold. They're quite pretty as well. We'll take them out. What else have I got? I've got pearls. Pearls are quite pretty because they make them look like sort of baubles. I've got these ones, which are gold, which again are quite nice. They've got a bit of twinkle on them, and then there's some green in there as well. And I've also got some of these, which I use for the centre of flowers and things. So I think I'll probably keep those for the centre of flowers, because when I'm doing flowers, I quite like those. So out of this lot, what do we reckon? That's quite nice, fairly subtle. Or these ones are going to be quite pretty, or those little ones. So I think I'm going to use some of these because I've got quite a lot of these and I haven't used those for a while. So I'm just going to take a few of these up and then we'll just sort of dot them about. So I'm going to have one in there, one in on there. One in on there. And I'm going to, I know we normally always have things in odds, but this time I am going to just put it as 4 because then it looks, it just balances it round all right. But it is a simple idea using what you've, excuse me, using what we've already got, what we've got in our stash, and making a very simple wreath with some designer series paper. You can then do whatever you want on the inside. I've got some little scraps and pieces and things, so I will decorate some of that in there. I'm just looking to see what I've done with the where I cut them down. I think I've probably put them away somewhere, but I've got some little tiny strips of there which I'll just put in on side on here, put another sentiment inside. Again, I've got lots of sentiments and things in here, so you know, this is another one, Christmas messages, so I could have inside wishing you a Christmas season filled with joy and laughter, hoping your Christmas is trimmed with the love and warmth of family and friends. You know, use what you've got and you know, make something which is fun. But the punch we've used today is the bow punch. I will put a link down below because the punches are all available. But as I say, use it for whatever you want. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.